Things they don't tell you about working in the cloud. This is a guide for future cloud engineers. My name is Broadus Palmer. I am founder of Level Up in Tech. My goal is to help you learn how to become a cloud engineer, land a job, and make money. And I do this by sharing my experiences throughout me becoming a cloud leader in this space. All right. So, this is just stories I'm going to tell, tips I'm going to give you throughout these series and videos that I post. So, take notes, do whatever you have to do to learn this stuff and digest it and move forward in your career because that's the whole plan. All right. So, one thing when I was trying to get into cloud engineering, and one thing that really kept me from stepping outside of my comfort zone is I thought, if I said the wrong thing, did the wrong thing, didn't know something that I was just going to get torn apart. And the number one thing that I really learned is in this industry, everybody is really kind and helpful. Well, most people are really kind and helpful. And what this means is if you have a question, if you're just curious, if you're eager to learn, you can ask questions to people on social media platforms like LinkedIn or whatever. And most of the time, if you're working on something that you just don't get, or if you have a question about technical service, most of the time people will reach back out and answer your question. At no time that I've ever seen in my entire career, someone post a question on LinkedIn or someone's working on a project and asks a question or someone said the wrong thing, got a wrong answer, etc. And someone came in and said, "That's dumb as hell. Why would you do that?" At no point in my career I've ever seen that happen. All right. But me, as I was coming through, I initially thought that is exactly what's going to happen if I don't have my shit together, right? If I don't have my stuff together and become a technical expert, then people were going to eat me alive. And that could be further from the truth. I can name countless people who I've reached out to when I was beginning my career, and even now that still helped me, gave me answers to questions, gave me some of their experience. Because in this industry, what's taken is years to learn. This is the goal here, right? What's taken is years to learn. We should be able to give this information to somebody to help them do it even faster, right? So let's say it's taken us some 10 some odd years to learn, right? 10 years, 5 years, whatever the case may be. The information and experiences that we give to people to help them expedite their situation should only take them weeks or even months, right? The goal is to expedite fast. So the goal is to share knowledge and share your experiences so somebody else can navigate the roadblocks that you hit. And that's the whole goal here. And I thought people were not going to do that for me. And I found that to be absolutely not the case. So I want you to breathe easy to know that most people are, let's take that back, not everyone, but most people are super helpful in this industry. All right. So, number two, we have to understand that this learning journey never stops. This is a lifelong learning journey. And to be honest, I knew this coming in because I knew technology always change. It's never static. So if we stay static and say, "Hey, I want to learn this. I don't want to learn anything else." As the years progress, we'll find ourselves in a situation where technology has changed so much, and maybe the thing that you're doing now is becoming outdated, and you're eventually are going to be pushed to learn something else. Now, it's up to you if you become proactive or reactive, because those that are reactive just pile a bunch of stress on them for no entire reason and become overwhelmed with work and life balance that sometimes they just can't get nothing done, instead of being proactive and continuously learn what they need to keep track or to keep on guard as far as what's coming next and where the industry is going. Really, all you have to do is read articles like CRO.gov, excuse me, DevOps World, Infotech, all these publications that give you insight on where the industry is going. And then you don't really have to learn the technical stuff yet. You just really have to just look at what's going on, and then learn that thing as far as read about it. What is this new service that they're talking about? Oh, let me look this up. Let me read this. And that's how you just continuously learn and get it on the top of your mind. And then when it comes time for you to get hands on, you can get hands on and comfortably just like, okay, I know what this is. I've had exposure to this already. Let me go ahead and see how I can solve problems. Um, and that's the most important thing I want y'all to understand, because think about it, in 2020 when cloud was really exploding because of COVID, there were people that were in roles that didn't adopt cloud at all. There were companies that didn't adopt cloud and they were anti-cloud. When cloud came and exploded, they knew nothing about it. So this means they had to pivot and use something that they did not train their engineers to learn at all. And what a scary moment it could be, not only for the employees, but for the organizations. All right. So understand that this is super important. The learning never stops. This is a lifelong learning journey. I don't care if you've been in the industry 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. You already know what I say is true. All right. Now, this is the next thing I want to talk about is just understanding where the industry is right now and what we actually looking at, and being completely honest. And I'm gonna drop a tidbit that a lot of people don't want to talk about. So listen up. While the opportunities are plentiful and the money is there, right? Some companies don't have job security. And I hate to say this, this is different than when it was in 2020, 2021. Companies are laying off, the investors are getting more, I'm not going to say greedy, but more hard on about getting their cash back, right? So companies are not providing their employees job security. So what does this mean? All right. This means we need to go back to number two, where the learning never stops. If you have stopped learning, if you've stopped going out the certifications or just pushing yourself to learn new skills, you need to continuously do that now. Because here's the thing that people are not talking about. While the jobs are plentiful and money is there, and companies are laying off and there's no job security in some companies, this is the market for what we call two of them things. What is two of them things? This is a market for two jobs. At this moment, we're not going to show loyalty to companies who don't show loyalty to us. So if you have a company, you're working at a company that's laying off, and your job, is still hasn't been impacted, and you're by the grace, you're working still, why put yourself in a position where if you lose your job, you don't have any other source of income, right? You need more than one client. You need, and this is something that I heard one of our peers say on, I think it was TikTok. You need more than one client. So if you have more than one client, if you get laid off or you don't have job security there, it's okay, right? So if you're working a role right now that's super flexible, right? Hey, look at another role. What can you do to be earning another 100K? What can you do to be earning another 60K, 70K? How would that change your life? Now, a lot of companies are going to try to push, to stop you from working another job full time, but in the end of the day, right, it's all about what's important to you and your family. And I'm just being super transparent here, right? As employees, as businesses looking to land our clients, we need to make sure that we have more than one, and we need to make sure that that money is coming in, because this is our livelihood. Okay. But so it goes back to number two, never stop learning. So if you stop, you need to start, right? But it also goes to, hey, it's time for two of them things. If you got super flexibility in your first role, let's see if you can get a contract role somewhere else, or a nighttime role, whatever the case may be. But make sure you have two of them things so you can be super secure in this industry. All right. So please take what I say, write it down, keep it a mental note in the back of your mind. So when you do come across the situation again, you can say, brothers told me this was going to happen, and you can be prepared for it. That's what the issue is we're trying to address today. All right. Now, understand this. My goal is to help you become a cloud engineer, help you land a role, and to help you make money. So I have a free community called the Cloud Career Accelerator, excuse me, where we have free courses, we have free projects, we have live events, and we have tons of content for insight. Okay. I think you should join if you're super serious about your career and super serious about transitioning into a cloud role. All right. So what I want you to do is click the link in the description of this video. Share this with anyone who needs to see this, who needs to hear this, who needs this information to be able to get to the next level. All right. So back to what we're going to talk about. Number 4, you will feel imposter syndrome, but I want you to understand it's okay. It just means you're not prepared. So, bro, what do you mean I'm not prepared? What are you talking about? So think about it like this. Think about if you working on your cloud skills now and you got an interview. The first thing we feel is anxiety. The second thing we feel is, man, you're not good enough for this role. How are you going to do this job? You just started learning 6 months ago. What are you doing? You can't do this. And some of us would even back out of the interviewing process because we have a fear that we're not even going to be successful anyway. And the whole time it's not even that. It's just because we haven't prepared for the interview. All right. So I'm going to tell you a quick story. And this is a story I've told before, but I haven't told in a long time. When I was trying to land my first role in cloud, I went to a company called Linux Academy, and I was trying to land a role as a cloud technical architect that was training other cloud engineers or future cloud engineers. And the manager gave me a task to do, and it was recording a demo teaching a subject that I knew about, I learned about, and teaching it in a way where adults can learn and move forward with their career. Now, just for context, I just want you to understand my past experiences in business and passion projects, all of that, I've done way more. So what I mean is I was a musician and I used to perform in front of thousands of people. Okay. I was a clothing designer. I was a sneaker reseller where we went to events with thousands of people and I talked to everyone under the sun, right? I was a banker for 14 years where I dealt with hundreds of customers per day, dealing with different types of personalities, different types of people, emotions, etc. And as a musician, I've done music videos as well that was plastered all over YouTube. And I was putting myself out there to the world, which meant it could be amongst millions of people, right? But here I was with this 5-minute demo that they asked me to do with imposter syndrome kicking my ass, telling me that I wasn't good enough to do it. So I sat in my bed and I told my wife, this is God honest truth. I told my wife, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to email Tom, who was the manager at the time, and I'm going to thank him for the opportunity. And I'm just going to say, hey, I appreciate the opportunity, but this is not the right role for me. Simply because I wasn't prepared to do the demo. And she looked at me and said, if you don't take your bleep in that office and do that demo and change your life, I'm going to kick your bleep. And when I went forced into that office to do the demo, I start preparing for the demo. I start learning the new things I needed to learn and setting up how I was going to teach it. And I did the demo and I killed it. And the crazy thing about it is I was literally about to give up because imposter syndrome had me by the throat, choking me and telling me that I couldn't do it. But it was all because I wasn't prepared. I didn't prep. So that interview that you're about to back out of, or that you're just nervous and feel that you're not good enough for the job, it's just because you haven't prepared for the interview or you haven't prepared yourself to answer some technical questions about the role. So how do we do that? We literally look at the role, study the company, look at the culture, look at the mission, look at the products they're selling, and understand what the role is and what they need you to solve problems with. And you literally go and look at your portfolio or look at your experience and align what you solve, align the problems that you solved already to the problems that they need you to solve. And that's how you prepare. And if you haven't had experience with some of the things that they need you to solve problems with, then you just research it and learn more about it. So when they ask you questions about it, hey, I don't have a specific experience with this service, but I've already researched it. I already know what it does, blah blah blah, and I'm pretty sure I can learn a ton more about it and get up to speed quickly and be able to solve problems with that. It's all about prep. That's it. Preparation annihilates the imposter syndrome. So this is why right now you in your career, you are still struggling with imposter syndrome about what the future is going to hold, because you don't know what a company's going to ask you for, because you don't feel prepared. That's it. But you got to realize the journey right now that you're learning and doing the project is getting you prepared. But you're letting the imposter syndrome get ahead of that and tell you, hey, it's not going to work for you anyway. So you stop preparing, you stop prepping, and then you quit. Well, the whole time you got to understand this journey that you're going, the distance between the difference of where you are and where you want to be is just prepping and getting ready. That annihilates the imposter syndrome. And then when you get to an interview, you have a new set of imposter syndromes. Like, you learn the skills, but now it's like, can you really do the job though? Can you really solve problems? Really? I know you've been doing it in your sandbox, and I know you've been, banging your head against, solving these technical problems that you're trying to learn, but can you really learn the job though? Can you really do it? And it's all about prepping for the interview to show that you are the best candidate. That's it. All right. Number 5, certifications are important, but they're not everything. So we see people that say, hey, I want to do 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 certifications before they get into a role. Well, all it takes is a foundational and a core certification that aligned to the role that you want to work in. All right. So if you're working in a cloud engineer role, then you need to look at what certification and that platform aligns with that role. All the other certifications could come after. Once you land the role and you start working, you can start working on other certifications. Some people don't get a job. Well, think about this. Some people don't prep for an interview. Get an opportunity to interview, right? They don't prep, meaning they don't research the company. They don't know anything about the company's products. They don't know anything about the company's missions and values or even culture, right? They haven't used the REM method that we teach, right? Recruiter, engineer, manager, to reach out to people in that company to learn the day to day, to understand what they do, right? They haven't really even researched the role. They just seen it was a cloud engineer role. Oh man, they only want 1 year of experience. Let me apply. They ain't even read the total job description. Think about that. They haven't even done any of that. But think because they got a rejection, it's got to be because I don't have that many certifications. It has to be. It has to be because I don't have the AWS solutions architect. Think about that. Make that make sense. You're not even prepping, and you think because you didn't get the job, it's because you don't have a certification, even though you have some. So certifications are important, but they're not everything. Everything is understanding how to solve the problem. Tech is not about knowing all the answers. It's about, can you find the answer? So if you're in an interview and they say, tell me about your experience, or tell me, have you used this service? And you say, no, I haven't used that before. And then you have a second individual that comes, tell me, have you used this service? Or tell me your experience about the service. Well, I haven't used that before, but I'm more than willing, and I love to challenge myself, and I love the challenge of just diving into something and being able to find an answer and solve problems with it. So I'm sure I'm able to do that with this service and be able to hit the ground running quickly. Both of them gave the same answer. Which one you think will probably move on to the next round? The second one, right? Because the first one said, no, I don't have experience with that. Then the question for the interview Would be, well, damn, do you want to learn? I mean, can you learn how to do it? Can you be self-sufficient? So think about that. It's not, certifications are important to some companies, but it's not everything. And I want you to really dial in on that. All right. Last but not least, all right, doing your homework on how much you are worth is important. So before you go into a role, you will be asked the question of what is your salary expectations most of the time. And it's important that you do market research on what your salary expectation is, or what the salary that's paying for this type of role is in this market where you live in that state. Preparation can lead you to so much success in multiple ways in an interview and landing a role. It can lead you to the success of making sure you move through the rounds, but also can lead you to the success of making sure you negotiate the right salary. Because in this industry or any other industry in business or whatever, you don't get what you deserve. You get what you negotiate. All right. So with that being said, I hope this video was super valuable to y'all. Make sure you share with somebody who actually needs to see this as well, as along with you. If you have a friend, partner, spouse, whatever, who needs this information to be able to be super successful in their career, make sure you share this content with them. I want everybody to see this that needs to hear this. I hope I gave y'all some truth. Put a comment in the comments if this was super valuable. Let me know so I can continue to make these videos for y'all and to help you learn how to become a cloud engineer, land a role, and make money. All right. Welcome to Level Up in Tech. My name is Broadus. I'm out, y'all. See you later.